Alright, in this lesson we're going to be using karma dolls.
Okay.
Rag
Karma
dolls.
dolls. Oh, rag dolls. Okay.
That's right.
Are we playing with dolls in this lesson?
No, not exactly.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, sort of. So we're going to actually create an interesting room and put these guys in them and kind of play with them a little bit.
Okay.
Sort of a secret.
Sort of a secret.
Yeah.
Sort of a secret.
Sort of. So, but first off, let's create our actual ragdoll.
Oh,
Why don't we just create our ragdoll first?
okay. Let's do the ragdoll thing. I'm all for it.
Okay. So let's right-click and add a karma actor. Whoa, that's kind of not what we're...
That's a bridge, man.
Yeah, it is. But we will start with a K actor, and we're going to kind of convert it into the character.
Oh, that's clever. So we're going to turn a bridge into a character?
Sort of.
Sweet.
You're a good student, man.
Yes.
So let's go under Display, and let's go under Draw Type, and let's change this to a Mesh. You notice it makes our almighty bridge disappear.
And it's quite a technological feat to change a bridge into a person.
I know. Under Static Mesh, let's just clear this out. And under Mesh, let's type in Skeletal Mesh. And let's say male jug A.
Wow, you type really fast.
Sure I do. Let's type...
Faster than I do.
Let's type use. And there's our actor.
Ooh.
I know, kind of awesome.
Floating green dude.
I know, it's kind of scary. So let's rotate this guy around, kind of facing that way.
That way, wherever that way is.
Wherever this way is, yeah.
Sure.
I'm facing towards the camera in this case.
Yes.
And let's go up and get that closed up. Let's go down to movement. And under physics, you'll notice that we have physics karma, which is the default physics engine that will be used for an actor.
Okay.
But in this case, we want to use a karma doll, so let's expand this out. And under here, we'll see karma ragdoll.
Mm-hmm.
So let's click that. And under karma, let's go under here, and you'll notice we have the regular parameters down here. Have karma parameters collision, and object.
Okay.
But really what we want to be able to access is the parameters for the actual skeleton that we've got here.
Cool.
Or the actual ragdoll.
Right, of course.
So let's clear this out, and let's go down here and select karma parameters skeleton. Click that, and let's click new. And there we've got it, and you'll notice that we have an extra area here called the karma parameters skeletons. And you'll notice that we can do convulsions. So at intervals, you can do a few convulsions, and kind of interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah, kind of scary. And you'll see in here we have convulse spacing, so you can set what times he's going to do it. So the minimum amount of time, the maximum amount of time. Kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Down in K skeleton, this is going to set which skeleton we're going to be using to simulate the ragdoll effect. So let's set Jug, because that's the character we're using.
Sure.
And let's make sure that we have all the settings set up. Actually, it is looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's exit that out, and let's play it to see how it looks. So let's just click Light Maps.
So when is it going to start in the animation? As soon as the
character actually shoots him.
Oh, okay. So right now he's just
So right now he's just going to hover in space.
Cool, let's go have a look at him while he's hovering. That'll be spooky.
So let's go up and let's actually shoot him, and look at that.
Oh, wow, look at him just buckle when he hits the ground.
So we can push him around a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do some interesting things with this guy.
Yeah.
Just kind of push him around. Kind of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to actually create a room specifically for these guys. Multiple. And let's start creating the room. Let's leave this guy over here.
Okay.
Let's create our brush, and let's find it, which would be over here. Let's move this over here. And let's actually try to get the right brush size the first time around.
The moment of truth.
I know.
Can Bingo put the right brush parameters in on the first try?
You know, somehow I doubt I'll be able to do it.
Film at 11.
I know. So let's set this to 196, and let's set this to 128. Let's build this guy out. And when you look at that, I did it wrong again.
It's just one of those play-by-ear things.
You know, I guess it's a bad memory
or something. It's like RGB coordinates, you know, or RGB systems when you're doing colors, because I can never remember them off the top of my head unless I have them written down somewhere.
Now, see, why do I remember those things?
I don't know.
That's kind of scary.
Why do I remember BSP brushes when I'm using them? Same thing.
Okay. So, I guess each has his own thing.
There you go.
So let's carve this guy out, and be sure that we move this guy down. We don't exactly want him sticking high up in the air.
Yeah, we need to be able to walk through that, not have to go find a ladder or something.
So let's call this guy out. Actually, that's really small.
It's really short. We're gonna have to like crawl.
So let's set this up to 256. That's kind of a default height. And let's move this guy up a little bit. Alright. Let's carve that guy out.
Alright.
That's kind of the look I was going for.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's create our next room. So let's move this guy over. I didn't really need to press that, but it doesn't matter.
It's okay.
Let's move this guy over to 2. Set him up a little bit nicer. Let's set this guy to 256 and 256. It's kind of a big room. Set the height to 512.
So it's a very tall room.
Yes, it is very tall. So let's set this to 16 so it snaps kind of. Well, you know what? Since we have it here, let's actually move this over a little bit. You'll notice that I did kind of cut it a little bit straight. We can actually fix that. We can just move this over and 2. Set that guy up.
Okay.
It looks a lot better. And we can rebuild our geometry. And you'll see that that kind of fits a whole lot better. Let's move this guy. Excuse me. I'll figure it out one of these days.
You're doing great, man.
Alright, thanks. So let's line these guys up a little bit.
You're a good little bingo.
Thanks, Zach. I needed that.
Sorry. Couldn't help myself.
Sure you can. So let's just have a little bit of height on the top. Right around like that.
Okay.
Let's cut this guy out. So we're going to have a fairly tall room, and that kind of sags all the way to the bottom. Let's quickly change our textures. I know textures aren't the most important thing in the world, but you know it's cool.
If you get anything worth doing, is worth doing right.
That's right. So let's go over to here, set this guy up to have those textures. Let's set this to... Well, and you know what I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to push Shift-B, select all of those, and we'll just set these to tiles. So let's shut that down. And now we have our room of torture. Oh well, I did kind of miss one texture here. No biggie. Just go into here, set that up. Alright, that's all set.
Sweet.
So, now what we're going to do is create a sort of interesting effect here. We're going to hang these guys from the wall.
Cool.
Yes, it's kind of cool. So let's go into...
From the wall or from the ceiling?
From the ceiling.
Ceiling's cool.
That's what I meant. But anyway, we have the character, K constraint, and we have the KBS joint.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just create a few guys here. Let's create a karma actor. Oh, excuse me. Let's create the KBS joint here.
Okay.
And let's kind of move that around to a... Let's move this brush out of the way. That's kind of about right.
Okay.
And let's create another chain. So let's go into our actor browser.
So this will be just like how we set up our lamp, basically.
Right. So we have the short chain here. Let's create an actor. So add karma actor. Let's put that over here. You know, that's actually looking pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's zoom in a bit. Let's change this to 16.
And a moment of silence
I
while
know.
Joel is working.
So let's Shift D and copy that guy over. And you know what? Why don't I just move this guy over, move him, I don't know, back a little bit. We want to kind of create an interesting effect.
Okay.
So maybe we'll have 3 characters in here. Put it sort of like that. We kind of want it on the same plane, so that's kind of looking nice.
Okay.
And you know, I'm kind of liking that. I do want to move this guy back just a little bit more.
And you start to get picky.
I know. So let's set that up. We got our one chain over here, so let's duplicate this guy over.
So basically what you're going to be doing is taking these systems, you're going to set up like one and then just duplicate it off before you wire everything.
You know,
out.
actually you're very right. I shouldn't be really creating all these. Let's delete those out. And let's duplicate this guy and put him down here. Well, I don't know what I was thinking.
I could have been thinking anything.
Yeah, that's true. I could have. And so let's move this guy over here a little bit. And that
You're doing a great job, man. Just keep right on rolling.
Yeah, alright, thanks. So that sets up our chain. Let's double click and set its properties. Let's go into karma constraint. Let's set the first one just as we did before. I mean, there's no difference. We just want to show off the ragdolls, so we're not going to explain this in great detail.
Right. Just rewind back to, what is it, the first lesson? There were so many lessons ago.
I know. Let's move our character and move over here. And let's set this guy right to about there. That's actually looking pretty good. So let's move over here and kind of line them up in this view. Let's move him up. What do you want to hang him by? How about his foot, maybe?
Yeah, let's hang this one by his ankle.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Alright, so all we need to do is take this actor and take him right about there. We don't want to go too high. He's going to kind of
hang him by his crotch?
No. Actually, no. We have it by the knee here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sure. So we have it all set up there. And now all we need to do is set up the last joint. So let's do that. Alright, let's double click our KBS joint and set the karma constraint to, let's actually look in here. It's actually pretty tight on the ceiling, but it'll work.
Well, he's going to be hanging upside down when all's said and done anyway, won't he?
Right, he will.
Right.
So let's move this guy over here. Let's try to see our chain. It's kind of hidden back here. Let's actually just first select our our chain so that we don't totally screw up here. Let's go into our karma constraint. Let's
mean select the joint?
Select the joint.
Right.
And then first select the chain here.
Oh, I got you. There we go. So we're setting up the first part of the constraint.
Right. Now let's select the second guy. Alright, so let's move this guy back into position. He was kind of in the way just a second ago. Let's move him back right about there. So he's kind of connected at the knee there. That's going to be kind of interesting. And let's select all of this. You know, we might as well check this first to make sure everything is going smoothly before we actually add them all in.
Okay.
So let's rebuild our lights, and you'll notice one thing first off.
That it's really dark inside our secret room.
That's right, and it's good to be secret, but we need to have some light.
Yeah, it's going to stay secret as long as we have no lights in it.
That's right.
And it's kind of a big room. We might want more light than that.
That's a good point. So let's set this up to maybe 80.
Okay.
And let's rebuild our light maps, and that's actually looking pretty good.
Okay.
And, you know, that's actually looking pretty good. Let's go in and test our level out real quick.
Well, let's do it.
So let's play map, wait a few seconds.
And here we go.
This should be pretty cool.
Yeah,
if everything goes well, it should be all set up. You notice that we have to shoot the camera. And look at that.
Oh, that is awesome.
That is just too cool. He's kind of hanging by his knee right there.
He's behaving like almost like a real person, though.
Yeah, I know. It's almost spooky.
That's freaky.
And look, he's hanging around. We can shoot him around. We can shoot him by the leg. Let's actually switch to our machine gun, and you can see that when we shoot him, he actually reacts correctly to it.
Yeah, the way his arms are waving is just too creepy.
Yeah, I know. It's almost scary. So let's exit out.
Oh, that's just too cool.
I know, it's too fun.
I can't wait for this video to be over so I can just sit down and play with that for like an hour.
I know. Well, I did notice one thing. Did you notice it, Zach?
I don't know. I was too busy, caught up in all the physics. What was I supposed to notice?
Well, K-Start enabled was kind of false, so let's enable that real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought that was kind of neat at first because we actually got to watch him drop and
that's
get caught
true,
by the
but
angle.
let's make it a little bit more realistic.
Okay, fine.
So we have that all selected. That was actually looking really cool. So
that was really cool.
So let's copy all these guys. Let's just select them all and duplicate them. Not really copy, but same difference.
Smooth
this guy over, maybe right about there.
So you grabbed all the constraints as well.
Right, and actually, here's the cool thing. It sets it up automatically, so it's really all set right now.
Oh wow.
I know, it's scary.
That is scary.
Let's select the right guy, and let's select him by the right arm, or that would be the left arm.
So all you have to do is move that wrist into position?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow.
So you don't need to change anything about the setup.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. So that's set up. Let's add one more, because it's just too cool. Let's select all these guys. Let's press Shift-D. Let's move this guy right back there. And, you know, we're going to do something interesting with this guy after we move him into position. Let's hang him by the back a little bit, right like that. And you'll see that he's kind of hanging by the back. And, you know, why don't we go into this character, go into his karma, and let's actually add some convulsions for him.
Cool.
So let's just switch this on, and, you know, let's crank this up a little bit so he has a wider range to do it. And, you know, I kind of like that. So just 3. You know, that's actually it. So let's go into our level.
So he's going to be, freaking out every so often?
Yeah, he is. He's going to kind of do some jerking. You know, why don't we actually add a static mesh in here? And let's go into our actual humanoid architecture. And we'll check in here. Humanoid hardware, excuse me.
There we go.
And let's just add all of these. And let's just look down here for J railing, if I can see it. And that's exactly the one I was looking for.
Hey, as long as you're not having to resize it, I think you're going to do fine.
I think I'm going to.
Oh, no.
Yes, I am. Oh, well, I get it.
I'm just kidding.
So,
took him a second to catch on to that one.
Yeah, I did. So let's resize him just a little bit. Let's scale him down. Let's move him into position. It's okay if he goes through the wall a little bit, but not too much.
Oh, look, you got to resize him again.
I know.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're not.
Okay, so you're right, I'm not.
So let's go into here. Yeah, it's kind of resting on the position pretty nicely.
Okay.
So let's rebuild our lights, and let's run our level.
All right.
This is going to be fun.
This is awesome.
Just a few more seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see already we have some bodies swinging in there.
Yeah.
Let's grab this guy. Let's actually put that guy into some motion. And look at that guy.
Oh my gosh.
That guy is kind of freaking out over there.
Oh, that is too cool.
Yes,
that's like scary.
I know. And let's actually shoot this guy around.
Fire. That is the most frightening thing I've ever seen. I'm going to have nightmares.
Well, I guess we kind of accomplished the goal then. So, I mean,
well,
we got some...
I'm almost speechless. It's like right out of a horror movie, the way he's jittering around like that.
It's like he got some disease or something. And you see that all we needed to do was move the guy around to position, and he's automatically
strung up by the closest thing. Yeah.
That's right.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, this guy's strung by the knee. This guy's kind of strung.
That is just too cool.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, he's looking kind of good. He's kind of stretching out just a bit there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of too much action.
Right. But still, though,
that
just adds to the creepiness.
I know. So, I mean, let's go out of here and let's just set a few quick options to just kind of clean out our level a little bit. Since this is really our last lesson, we kind of want to clean it up just a bit.
Sure.
So let's go into here, and first off, as you notice, I was kind of bothered by this. Let's go to K-Start Enable. Set that to true.
Okay, so you want the barrel to be floating as soon as we come into the level.
Actually falling into the... floating in the liquid, that's right.
Yes.
So let's go into here. Of course, you're always right.
No, not always.
Mostly.
Well, maybe.
K-Start Enabled, we'll set this to true. And one thing you may keep in mind that we may not have done every single time is set Be High Detail only to false. So if you have your settings set to a lower quality and nothing is happening at all, be sure to check this out.
You might want to dig through all your K actors and set that.
That's right, because it's... You want me to do that?
No. I'm just saying
that's right,
to the
exactly.
audience, because not everybody is running on the massively powerful computer we
not
happen
everyone
to be
has
using
dual
right
3
now.
gigahertz.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty embarrassing how powerful this computer is.
That's right. So let's go over here and let's just look at this one more time. Maybe we'll just set his convulsions a little bit lower.
Okay, I thought it was pretty cool though.
I know, it is pretty cool. But let's set this down a little bit. And let's set the minimum to something higher. I mean, what do you think, Zach?
Oh, let's see, what is it set to, 0 right now?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we'll set it to something like 0.3.
0.3 sounds pretty good. I'm kind of reconsidering here.
Okay.
I mean, he's kind of...
Well, I mean, I really liked the way it was bouncing around, like that really fast jitteriness, and I noticed he was stretching out a little bit, but I'm sure that's just like a byproduct of all the extra animation that was going on.
That's right. I mean, it doesn't really matter that we had that going on
anyway.
So
I'm not too worried about that, but God, that was just so freaky to see him bouncing around like that.
Yeah, I know. You know, might as well just leave it at that.
Okay, fine.
It's pretty cool looking. So, with that, we've really showed a whole lot of stuff. Let's jump back into the level real quick, just so we can see this.
You did rebuild your lights, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, just making sure.
And let's just wait for it to come up. And you'll notice that our barrels kind of just flop down, just the way we wanted it to.
They settle a little bit right as we come in.
Let's go into here, and our barrel is kind of hanging a little bit. You notice he's still doing his convulsion thing.
Yeah, that's just so creepy.
And these guys are swinging like they're supposed to, one by the arm, one by the knee. And with that really wraps up this lesson. I mean, we've covered a whole lot. We covered how to do convulsions, as you can see this guy's doing.
Yeah.
And we set...
Looks like me in the morning.
I'm glad I don't see you much in the morning. So, I mean, we have the constraints for the guy, and you see that with joints, you can even constrain the dolls inside of it. It's really amazing.
I really liked how you could just take your ragdoll and just move it into position, and that constraint would just pick right up. That was just incredible.
Yeah, I know.
Makes things so easy. But I guess with that, we've pretty much seen everything.
Really covered everything. So with that, thanks, guys.
All right.